Naam, sadakta mtazamaji, karibu tena katika chombo cha Sport Sugu. Tusafiri pamoja, ni Jumamosi nyingine, Jumamosi njema, teule na tulivu. Kumbuka kwamba wewe ndiye wimbi na sisi ndiyo chombo. Kumbuka kwamba Waswahili walisema kwamba kila chombo na wimbile. Sisi ndiyo chombo na umekuwa wimbi nzuri mtazamaji, tumesafiria vizuri na utulivu. Mpaka kufikia sasa safari yetu imekuwa njema, tuzidi kusafiri, tuzidi kuzungumza. Kila siku tunasema kwamba kama haupo sisi hatupo. Kumbuka kwamba ni wiki ambayo tumekuwa na joto la siasa na tumechagua viongozi wetu mbalimbali, na vile vile tutakumbuka kwamba kuna viongozi ambao walitoka kule katika nyanja za kispoti wakajitosa kule na miongoni mwao wakashinda kura. Tutakuwa tunazungumza na Kiari Jeni nani, lakini mwanzo tuzungumzie katika mitandao za kijamii GBS TV Africa na vile vile tupate live katika mtandao wa YouTube na kila siku alama ya reli ikiwa ni Sport Sugu samahani, na vile vile nipate katika mitandao zangu za kijamii @ekadeli aita Twitter, Facebook, ekadeli aita Instagram, ekadeli_ aita hashtag alama ya reli ni ekadeli na michezo. Kwanza nachukua fursa hii kukaribisha Kiarie.
Asante sana ndugu Ekadeli. A warm welcome to a Saturday afternoon, the 20th of August. We are on season 2, episode 2. We really thank you for the honor you have given us, for the time you have traveled with us. And Ekadeli, asante sana for maintaining the peace.
Naam, wiki yako imekuwaje? Manake Kenya tumeshuhudia mambo yamekuwa tulivu, watu wameambiwa, viongozi katika nyadhifa mbalimbali wametangazwa nani mshindi nani mshinde, lakini siku zote kila mtu ni mshindi, mshinde na mshindi.
Tulisema just by participating you are a winner.
Naam.
Na tena tunaongezea tunasema kama haumpo pia sisi hatupo. Hata hapa Sport Sugu. This is a dedicated women only sports channel. Comes to you GBS TV, my social media handles, Kiari Mwangi, find me at LinkedIn, nipate kwa Twitter and Mjomba.
Naam, wakumbuka kwamba huwa tunawapa kipaumbele wanadada zetu, na vile vile kuna mada ambayo huwa tunazungumzia kila nyakati ama kila kipindi ambacho tuko hapa. Mwanzo kuna mada ambayo tumekuwa tukizungumzia menstrual health na nini nyingine.
Tumezungumzia menstrual hygiene, tumezungumzia sexual violence, tumezungumzia yoga in pregnancy, tumezungumzia sports contracts and dispute resolutions. Today tuzungumzia hapi.
Leo tunazungumzia mental health in women athletes, na tunaye mgeni wetu hapa, mgeni Marithia. Atatuambia binti mzuri navyomuona. Kwa hiyo tebwereka, makinika, jukwaa ni lako, tuzungumze, tuambizane ukweli, tusemezane na tuelimishane.
Kabla tumkaribishe guest wetu, kwanza tuwape kongole. We congratulate the sports stakeholders who have made it to the National Assembly. MP Ronald Karauri,
pale
Kasarani, Mwalimu Peter Orero, the one who discovered wanyama, Pakamkunji High School, Upper Hill, Dagoretti High School, MP Kibra, and Catherine Omayo, women representative Busia County. Amekuwa former Secretary General katika AFC Leopards. Na tunaomba all the sports stakeholders who are representing in pale bunge weke sporti.
Naam, miswada ziwasilishwe kule bungeni zinazohusu sporti moja kwa moja, na vile vile hata rais ambaye anakuja sasa, ama rais mteule sasa hivi tunazungumzia ni William Ruto, ape kipaumbele sekta ya sporti. Tuone kwamba sporti imeanza kurudi kama ilivyokuwa awali.
Sport Sugu, dedicated show for women. Happy to have our sister, our good guest. Tumpatie nafasi.
Sema nasi, ni nani, wajue
ni nani, unatoka wapi. Naona smile, tabasamu wewe utakuona.
Asante sana, it's a pleasure kuwa hapa leo. Kwa majina naitwa Rhoda Kidhure, mwana psycholojia, simple tunasema clinical psychologist, and bado work with sports athletes as a performance coach on the side also. And it's a pleasure being in this platform today.
Roda alitoka wapi? Unajua sasa unajua tumempata hapa. Kwa nini Roda?
Kwa muhtasari na summary, tuambie umetokea wapi, umefika mpaka mahali ulipo, ukawa mwanasaikolojia.
Sio amecheza sport gani? Hata tujui.
It's broad, lakini now nitaanzia wapi? A girl from Meru. And my journey ilianzia tu in Nairobi, starting psychology. Had an interest kuelewa some of the issues nikiwork na community. Nikiwa before I joined, nilifanya kazi as a volunteer in Mathare. Mathare slums Huruma, and there's so many issues I saw, especially with teenage girls leaving school, teenage pregnancy, and I wanted to see niaje naweza saidia. So nikaanzia my journey in psychology. After kumaliza, during that break, I decided let me join sports. I joined sports as a way of keeping fit and as a coping mechanism, because at that time nilikuwa nimemaliza my internship in Mathare Hospital, and it takes a toll, even especially working there. So I joined rugby as a coping mechanism because I needed to relieve stress, and I started playing. I got interested in the sport and decided let me pursue it at a club level. And in the process, nika realize also there's a gap to address issues affecting athletes, both women and men, within the sports fraternity, psychological issues affecting them. But now nika decide let me go back, but in clinical. Nikafanya now, I went back to do my master's in clinical with a focus on sports. Yes, so that's where my journey grew in sports and psychology.
So Madekadelo umesikia rugby is a sport. Najua kuna siku umeniambia ungependa kucheza rugby. Sijui ilikuwa mwili, ilikuwa umbo, hatujui.
Ni binti ambaye ni msomi. Tumeona kwamba ana cheti cha masters katika masuala ya spoti. Kwa hiyo na tukumbuke kwamba ni swala tu nzima tunazungumzia kuhusiana na mental health inavyoathiri wanariadha, wanaspoti mbalimbali katika nyanja mbalimbali, iwe ni boxing, iwe ni football, iwe ni swimming. Kwa hiyo tutakuwa tunalizungumzia kwa undani zaidi katika awamu ya pili. Kwa hiyo mjomba, tukienda katika awamu ya pili ama tukienda katika break,
tukipiga tama la maji, it's actually very exciting to have Rhoda Kithure welcome once again, because all the issues tumekuwa tukiongea hapa, from menstrual hygiene, from women journalists, the one common denominator across them, it's mental health. That cuts across whatever the sport, whatever your profession, and whatever the discussions you have held here. Najua we had a chance a while back to talk to Madam Faith Nashipai, and we broadly touched on mental health. Today we are narrowing that space down to mental health in women athletes. Kwa hivyo leo mwanadada akiwa nyumbani, GBS, our SMS is 21144. Please talk to us, engage us, let us hear from you, and let's get a moment to listen to Rhoda Kithure.
Kwa hiyo changia maoni yako katika 21144, tukizungumzia swala nzima tu la mental health inavyoathiri athlete tofauti ama wanariadha tofauti ama wanaspoti kwa ujumla. Kwa hiyo tutapumua kidogo, kisha tukirejea tutazamia swala hili kwa undani zaidi na dada yetu hapa Rhoda. Kwa hiyo tunapumua kidogo, tunarejea.
Everywhere GBS.
Naam, karibu tena mtazamaji. Kumbuka kwamba tunazidi kuzungumzia swala hili mental health. Je, mental health inahusu nini na inaathiri vipi mwanadada moja kwa moja? Tutatatua vipi? Kwa hiyo ni masuala ambayo tutakuwa tunaangazia zaidi katika awamu hii. Kwa hiyo tupe maoni yako katika 21144, tuma arafa. Kwa sasa Kiarie.
Naam. Asante sana ndugu Kadeli. Na vile tunazungumza sports. Sport is high performance. Sport is about results. Tunasemanga almost doesn't count.
Kabisa.
Hatukumbukangi namba 2. Si kumbukanga nani alishinda.
Nani amechukua goli.
Nani alichukua kikombe ama nani alifika swimming finish line mbele. Usually that's high energy, that's high adrenaline. Roda. Take us through the journey and the anxiety and what needs to happen. Because kuna mshindi both ways. Kumbuka huyu anaweza shindwa, it's still high energy. Anaweza shinda, it's also, take us through the journey.
Where I can start from when it comes to sports, as you said, there's expectations. When someone is getting in that field, let it be a team sport, when you're athletes, there's the expectations of winning. There is, you want to come out as the best. And kuna ile unapata after losing, how do you deal with the loss? Now comes with the preparation. The key thing inakujanga in preparation. And as we are talking about even women in sports, how prepared are you? It determines how even the anxiety level is that ukifika hapo you getting into the sport. How prepared are you to cope with any adversity which happens ukiwa hapo? And many athletes have come across is that anxiety sometimes leads kwa choking ukiwa ndani. Unapata you're so mind fixated on winning, you don't focus on the progress of the game, how it's going. You lose the focus on the process of even ukiingia kwa competition, what you've been training on. So one thing about anxiety is inaku affecting you can't remember what some of the things you've been training. You've been training for months, you've been training for years. Lakini because of anxiety, everything you forget. Because your focus is, I need to win. My coach is there standing at my side. My family is there. My teammates, fans, wako hapa screaming your name and they're expecting a lot from you. So when you get inside that field, all you see, unaona now, I need to deliver. All these people are looking at me. So when you focus on the outcome, you fail to know, what can I do inside here? So what I usually tell them is, yes, we know there's a need to win. When you're getting in a field, any arena you get in, you want to win. But now focus on what have you done for this day? Have I prepared? Nimekuwa nikitrain a coach. Do I remember my game plan? Do I remember who am I? Kama ni team game, football, rugby. Who am I support? Do I know what my team is expected? So that helps in reducing anxiety. That helps you not to kingia. Yes, I know fans expect a lot from me. I know my coach, if I don't win, naeza lose my spot. Yes, my family has invested time, even kukuja kuniona. I can't imagine disappointing them. Now, bring in the gender card. Who is the woman here? The woman is, you've sacrificed a lot to be here. You've overcome so much to be here. So there's a lot also on your shoulder. So comes in, ukifika hapo, unapata unashindwa. Unauliza wengine baadaye, I remembered everything, lakini I forgot. Niliingia, kuna vile najua ball na ipass, let me come from now, rugby. Unaingia, unajua gapi kwa hapa napaswa kupita hivi, ama I pass to my support player, lakini ikifika, na noko, nikirushia, imeanguka. Yes, so unapata these are some of the impacts of anxiety. And then now afterwards is, what happened, aujui, hatwe mwenyewe uelewi. So those are some of the challenges when it comes to anxiety. Yes.
Na because umesema win is the ultimate.
Yes.
Now, how do you handle the loss? Because, of course, we go there, kila mtu, individual sport, team sport, we go there to win. But, I mean, kuna kushinda na kushindwa. So how do you handle the loss and the mental that comes?
It's a very good one. Handling the losses, when you're going with the mentality of, I will do my best. When you have that mentality, now comes with, what's your mindset when you're getting inside there? You're not coming with a mindset of losing. No, you're coming with a mindset of, I have to do my best to win. So by the time you're coming out and you lose, first thing I usually tell them is, you're only human. And mistakes happen, sometimes even beyond you. So accept, yes, okay, I made a mistake, ama something happened beyond which I couldn't control. Najua kuna other aspect unapata, they are beyond your control. So I tell them, yes, you failed. I want you to sit down with that loss. What does that loss mean to you?
Okay.
You had prepared well. You had prepared your time well. Lakini now, I've seen many who are easier to accept the loss is wale wamekuja na mindset of I did my best. I played my role. My position was maybe number 10. My position was kicking. My position was communicating with the team. What was your role? If I played my role well, it's easier to handle the loss. But kama you never played your role, you got in with the mindset of no matter what, I have to win. These are matches. They take the loss harder. So how to handle the loss is I usually say, sit down with that loss. What does it mean for you? You've seen you've lost. Who played the role in which way? Keti chini. Now when you analyze, now upate some things are beyond your control, and you're like, sir, you've lost. What can you do next? You can't change the past. What can you look forward? What do you think went wrong? What did you do well? Because you have to look at the positive. You have to look at what went wrong. Correct that. Let's start working towards correcting the wrongs. So we see ahead, sit down, accept the loss. Acceptance takes time. But now sometimes I've seen the pain when it comes to losing. Even you feel the pain, I can put it, you're feeling like physically you're feeling the pain.
Tunakane kadeli kama timu yake inaitwa Arsenali.
Okay.
And so hapo hivyo kuna motion and at times nakanga na kadeli and it's palpable. Arsenali team.
Mwanzo kabla tuendelee, kuna shabiki fulani kule Zimbabwe, sio lakini inahusiana na spoti. Kuna shabiki fulani wa Manchester United Zimbabwe kule alikatwa kichwa sababu tu ya spoti, azin kushabikia hiyo Manchester United ikapoteza akakatwa kichwa. Hiyo tu mashabiki
Laparoda we have had instances of people who suicide. And it's an EPL, hata sio local sport, it's an EPL game. Sasa kadeli ilikuwa tu labda tu ndio sasa you learn how to handle the loss.
Asiweke kwa roho.
Asiweke kwa roho.
They took it personally and majority unapata maybe they had high stakes in it and it's gone. And what do you deal with that loss? Yes, knowing what you can control. One thing I say is what is within your control.
Okay.
If something is beyond your control, you focus on it. There's no much you can do. Focus on what you can control. Gives you a sense of control, a power over it.
Talking about control, and this to women athletes. There are women athletes who have their coaches are also their spouses, either husband/boyfriend. Nakuwa yeye bado ndio, let's say manager wako. Especially for individual sports, unaweza pata boxing, athletics, this swimming.
Sana athletics.
Sana athletics mostly. Unaweza pata your manager is also your spouse, your boyfriend/husband. Now, those kind of relationships sometimes kuna kuangana those kind of anxieties because now there are lines, those thin lines, so to speak. I mean, have you had such instances, or how do you deal with?
They're there. We can say, as you said, these are issues which are on the ground. And these are people unapatata umeingia and you connect, you find that relationships come. Now, one thing I've seen even in a workplace level, it's when you have policies in place, you want to have a controlled environment. Yes. So unapata, when such a relationship happens, it affects your performance, affects your teammates. Kwa sababu every time they'll be thinking, amepata your spot because they have a relationship. It's affecting the morale of the rest of the teammates. Even athletes unajua hii position amepata. Even for you when you actually performing, ukiwa hapo unapata, it's maybe there's underlying challenges which are there. So one thing I advocate for is having policies in place. Because with these policies in place, when they're implemented, unapata unajua if there's a relationship, do you have a way of addressing these? Because when you address them, unapata the other teammates are not affected at all. Because one relationship, you may think it's just affecting the two of you, but the rest is affecting them. Mwingine anakuja nasema, maybe for me to actually have a spot mbele, maybe I need to know someone inside. So unaona, even for you, your performance is affected, your ambitions are affected. Unapata even your career is cut short without even knowing.
And especially for women, because tulikuwa na kadeli katika some of our research, na kulikuwa na a case where a woman, female athlete, woman athlete, sorry, alikuwa yeye ndio husband yake ndio manager. Kwa hivyo yeye anaenda anakimbia, husband anapata hela, pesa. Okay? And she was going through depression or mental because she was feeling like on the one hand she's the one doing the work, you know, like, you know, the training, the physical, the performance, the nini. But on the other hand, the manager or the coach is the one who enables. He's the enabler. He's the one who is pushing you to work. He's the one who is giving you the strategies na nini. Lakini all said, pale kwa pesa ikiingia, even with those HR policies, so to speak, it becomes another thin line.
Yes.
At the end of it all, she quit athletics. Her career was cut short because of the tricky balancing act.
Now, that's a good one. Now, comes with now the self-belief in sport. Yes, I'm performing. I'm putting all my efforts here. I understand the role of this person who is my spouse and who is also supporting me and pushing. Already there's a dual relationship hapa, Billy. So, unapata, I'm trying my best, but I don't see the results. This person only, unajua, the one thing about even in sports, even in any profession, when you're doing work, when you see the results of your work, it enhances your performance every time. So it enhances your self-belief, it enhances your self-esteem. It shows even when I'm working, these are the results I'm seeing. Lakini now hapa comes to these athletes, anafanya kazi, but nothing is coming out of it. Nje, she's celebrated. What about at home? What are the dynamics at home? Comes another thing is power relationship. There's a power relationship hapa. Nje huku, I'm the one bringing the money, but comes here who is managing me. So the power struggle comes in, it's affecting me from actually bringing out myself and knowing who I am. So there's so many dynamics affecting the mental health of these athletes. So comes in, other now becomes vulnerable. I don't know. Anafika, the way you're explaining ni kama alifika in a sense of helplessness. I can't do anything about it because it's my spouse, it's my manager, and I need support here. But what else can I do? So the only thing, I take away the one source of income and now to balance the equation. Let's balance this power. Yes, because he has the power. So when I feel I don't have any power here, I don't feel like I can do anything much about it. And now that's become a contributing factor to mental issues. Yes, because you're frustrated. You don't have an outlet. You can't tell anyone. Outside Uku, people can see.
When you star.
When you star.
When you champion.
When I go run, when I finish, I know what I'm capable of. But my support system is not strengthening the system for me to excel. That affects.
Kidogo Keria ni muulize dada yetu swali. In terms of performance, turudi hapo kidogo kwa performance, ile wasiwasi ni anxiety kwa Kiingereza. Ile wasiwasi wanasema kwamba athlete akizoea kuwa na wasiwasi kila wakati huwa ina build ile toxic stress. Is it true ama ni?
What happens is, in anxiety by itself, kuna the normal anxiety. Every person goes through that normal anxiety level. And there's some levels of anxiety needed in sports. Before that game answer, if you're well prepared, there's that level of anticipation. That's normal. And then unapata kuna ile inafika level becomes even a problem. And becomes a problem like it's an anxiety disorder. Yes. So ukipata an athlete, the anxiety yako nayo, it's affecting his performance, affecting his relationship, making him even lacking sleep. And the more anxiety levels are high, the more his performance is going down. So meaning there's something underlying making this anxiety napata, it's prolonging. Inside the game nikiingia, within the first 5 minutes, at least it's expected. Usha warm up, umeingia kwa game. The practice umekuwa ukifanya, you're able to control it. So that's what anxiety brings. So unapata, ikiendelea, this person itapata, it's affecting them. Or unapata, it's not only within the sports, even outside. Yeah. So even stress, it's a contributing factor to sustaining this anxiety. Yes. So stress becomes the contributing factor kufanya the anxiety is prolonged. So what happens is understand what's causing the stress. Why is this athlete inside the game and they are well prepared, they can't perform? Yes. So the stress is the contributing factor. Yes.
Wow. That's really powerful. And napo mesema because a lot of tumeona very high performing athletes, both men and women here. Na tumeona huyo ametrain vizuri ama amekuwa na game consistently very good games and outings. Alafu suddenly anaanza kudip, which becomes a steep gradually. Ameanza tu but again because ni gradual, atatu notice Roda alikuwa hapa. But you see now, at what point do you intervene? Your intervention, because hapa kidogo intervention. At what point does that person either realize that dynamics that are go through the stress, because you might actually be going through it now, hujui?
What I usually do for you, it's something even for them they don't notice. They don't see what's going on. So before even if you can now to becoming problematic, even the coach themselves, they can see something has changed. Like what I usually do when I'm working with them is I do an assessment at first. Understand your levels of anxiety. How do you cope with pressure? How do you see yourself inside the game? How do you prepare? Do you set your goals? How do you understand yourself? Even do sometimes even some personality assessment. And when you do all that, the moment you start monitoring them, utaona a shift in their performance. And even the athlete themselves, they become so aware of, but there's something is not right. My performance is going down. So intervention is to start early. And that comes by how is the relationship between even the coaches and the athlete? How does the athlete, and are they aware they're going through something? Comes with sensitization. Let them understand, train them on understanding. What are some of these challenges you may go through? How do you unona, under pressure, I'm better off like this. This is how I work when under pressure. Inside the game, this is what happens. Like they are aware of how they operate. So training, sensitize the athletes to know themselves, becoming aware. And then also the coaches themselves, you see, these athletes, performance was, the goals they're set, performance was at the beginning. But 2 weeks in, something has changed. Communication is key. Communication is key because you will see these changes. But the one thing which matters is assess them, and it's continuous assessment. And now another challenge is the coach may not have that capability of doing all that because there are so many athletes here. So that's when you bring professionals, mental health professionals. We have performance coaches who come in and serve that role. We have sports psychologists who come in and act on that level to know, I have seen you performing, this was your performance at the beginning, this time something has changed, what is going on?
Kwa hiyo huyu athlete unamuandaa pia, sio training tu kuruka cons, sijui kufanya nini na nini, ni pia kumuandaa kisaikolojia, unamuongelesha kwamba kuna hivi na hivi. Kwa hiyo maandalizi ya kiakili ama kumuandaa ule athlete, lazima muandae kisaikolojia na pia kutrain ile kutumia muscles na nini na nini. The physical one.
The physical training. Lakini pia kuna kitu Roda pia amesema, I think if I get it right, is also the coaches need also to be trained, because so far tumekuwa tukisema the athlete has served the athlete, but Roda ameleta another angle now. Even the coach needs to be trained to be able to see, to
be aware of some of these changes. As I'm training them, some other aspect I need to look at. What is happening to this athlete? This is not the normal way they perform. As you said something about physically fit, there is the mental fitness. That's where the assessment comes in, the mental toughness. But for me, it's mental fitness. As Kosabu, with now, you may be physically fit, but when you're not mentally fit, your performance is not going to go far. Lately, they have come to realize mental fitness is critical. It's similar also to physical fitness.
So you have to balance them.
Yes, you have to balance. So even this athlete can know, okay, I'm going through, how do I cope with these stress levels? How do I cope with, when I go in halfway, we have lost. How do I handle that loss and have a comeback? Have you seen teams ingine, wame lose the first half, the second half wamefanya comeback ingine noma hadi unashindwa what happened.
Hiyo break ilikuwaje mpaka hiyo comeback ikakuwa.
Kwa hiyo tazidi kuzungumza kuhusiana na swala hili, na ndio tunazungumza. Natumai mtazamaji wangu unazidi kuzungumza nasi, longa nasi, tutumie ujumbe katika 21144, tuambie, tuchangie katika swala hili nzima la mental health. Lakini kwanza tunapumua kidogo, kisha tunarejea na tutazama na binti yetu hapa Roda atuambia zaidi na tuelimisha zaidi. Na Sadakta mtazamaji, kwa hiyo tunazidi kuendelea, tunazidi kujuzana kuhusiana na swala hili la mental health. Kerie, hadi sasa mambo yako sawa?
Hadi sasa kwa lugha yako tunasema ni yente. Ama swadakta. Na muhimu zaidi nimesikia history ya anxiety.
Naam, wasiwasi.
Yeah, na mental health, it affects both parties. Because even the coach, Roda amesema, even the coach can be anxious about the athlete's performance. The athlete can be anxious about her own performance and where it's dipping. I think that's what I've gotten.
Yes.
But then, we had our guest here, Swati. Nakumbuka tulizungumzia habari ya pregnancy and athletes and yoga and the exercises. Just right from what Roda ametueleza, tumuulize. Now, it is bad, anxiety is bad enough as it is. Now, pregnancy brings a whole new conversation to anxiety, to prepare, to every other aspect, tumesema, mental, physical, every other aspect. Take us through perhaps the mental health of an athlete who is preparing for high energy. Maze ile game normal. And then now this has happened in the States because it's a journey now. It's a 9 months.
And that means now starts with how is Ebutuangale, first of all, how is the system, especially for the women, is it friendly to the women? Actually, yeah. Is it, how is the maternal care even even for women, for athletes who are pregnant? How is the system? So that matters kwa sababu the lady will be comfortable enough to say, I'm pregnant and I'll be out because I know my position will be secure. I have confidence of my support from my team, from my managers. If that is very critical. If that is not there, you find others, they will hide till when it's showing. And now you can imagine it's high level performance, training, meaning it's risky.
True.
For the athlete. So others, they prove to, let me just step away. Because I know stepata and you step away. And now that pressure of, will I get back? Will I get the support I expected to get from, and comes with a spouse and come with income. Will I be supported during this period amount? And kama ikuwe now, another challenge, if it was the only source of income for this athlete, that's another challenge. So kuna maternal care, kuna ease of the care during the pregnancy, afterwards the child care. Do I have that support? And so if I say I lose my income, my position in the field is lost, the support I used to get is lost, I'm left all alone. It's not only affecting you physically, financially, it's also affecting you mentally because I have no one. So the question comes in, if I'm planning to have a family, are all these aspects catered for? If they are not, si ningoje, jipange kwanza. But if it has happened, most of them unapata, you know, now you start thinking of plan B. Lakini if all these systems are in place, that's why unapata wengi, comeback is so easy. Unapata after given birth, the period after giving birth, anarudi in training. Because the system is friendly enough to take care of them. Yes. So that becomes the challenge. Lakini kama the system is not friendly, mentally, this athlete is going to struggle. And not only is it going to affect her, even the child coming to this world. So most of them unapata their career ends. At that level. Because hata ya ataangalia, this system, this sport never supported me when I was pregnant, when I was in need. So what's the need of me going back? Let me look for another alternative. Not only that, even the body changes, the identity. Most athletes, you find the minute they come into the game, their personality, their identity is aligned with the sport. So saizi motherhood imekuja, who am I? The challenge comes in. Who am I now? Away from the sport. So that those challenges ikikuja, if there is no support, intervention to support them, unapata now we are losing so many athletes after that.
So getting back to the game.
Getting back to the game. They get away from the game, life changes for them. We have talent, and as it has happened. Ama unapata wale wako within the system, as they say, they decide, no, I don't know, let me plan myself first before that happened. Yes.
And as a coach, the moment umegundua mchezaji wako wa rugby ako pregnant, How do you go about it? Mnawaandaa kivipi? Kisaidi nini?
This is where as a coach is affirming them. It's a part of nature. It's a growth. It's part of being human. And ile unapata you've gotten pregnant, you're raising a family, that's okay. And assuring them that even during that period, you're growing into someone else, even coming back, that growth would be a part of you becoming better. But not looking at it like you'll be losing. You're gaining more. I look at it from, you look at it from an aspect here. You see when an athlete gets injured, during that period that you recover, we usually call it injury growth. During the injury, you discover yourself, who you are away from the sport. You discover your whole personality away from sport, the support system, you grow. So the same comes with a woman. I've given birth, I've grown to be a mother, the expectations of being a mother. How can I bring that and bring it back to the sport to grow me become even a better athlete? That is the angle a coach can take. Not making them feel I'm losing my position, I've made a mistake. No, it's a growth. It's a change you're going through and you can get better as you accept that growth.
No, there's also the flip side of your story. There are those who sema, mimi ni roda. Basi rugby mazi ndio mimi. Na sport ndio hii. Wacha ni postpone child, hiyo nini ya motherhood until after active years. So unajipata, let's say your active years, give or take inakuanga 10 years. That's the average active sporting. 22. So by about 30-35 years, so you feel you need to take off. At that time, it's when now you start planning pregnancy. You know, like kunale usema it's delayed, you know, like So that also comes with its own challenge. There's a whole mental around it.
I can put it is now, meaning that someone, the others you're set for retirement. You don't know the challenges comes with even that time when you're saying, now I'm ready for that. There's so many opportunities you've missed. Like your life was, now there's that transition. Your life was all about the sport. And then now you're getting into motherhood, another one. So you're transitioning at the same time. So there's that, there's a challenge there. Mentally, how prepared are you? And the challenges which come with that. And let's say the spouse, is the spouse ready for that to happen? So that comes even affecting the marriage. Is the spouse ready for you to wait till you retire for you to get kids? So that challenge comes when bring the marriage challenges, bring even for you personally, how it's affecting you. So you find that aspect. That's how I said, if the system is not friendly, that is what causing many to delay. Because if I am going to lose my position, I'm going to lose my source of income, I'm going to be out of something I've known for the longest time. So I delay. So you're denying yourself a part of your social life. You're denying a part of yourself. A growth, you're literally denying yourself. And the minute you deny as one aspect of your life, it's definitely is going to affect you mentally.
Because I also believe even late pregnancy, when you're 35, it also has its own challenges in terms of health. Like, like it's different from when you're 20 years, when you plan pregnancy at 40, it's obviously different in many ways. Then health-wise also.
There's that aspect. And there's some, I know technology now is changing and we have all those advances, but still we have the challenges which come across it. You find you've been ready and then you find at that time, there are other challenges which prevent you from getting that. That becomes a problem. So it matters, like there's so many factors involved in this. And maybe you never know what has happened during this period in training. And for you to actually now affect you when now you're ready for pregnancy, for that. So what I'm saying is the system itself, that's where the challenge is. And many of them make that conscious decision, but now when it's time to do that, it doesn't work their way.
35 years, una retire from the sport. Now you're planning either marriage or pregnancy, at the same time, una plan retirement.
That's retirement. Because that's the mindset of, if I'm planning, those who delay, if I'm planning, I know when it comes to rearing a child, marriage, meaning now I'm losing, I'm getting away from the sport. So retirement, that's a transition. That's a challenge you're dealing with. Starting a new family, that's a challenge you're dealing with. So that transition is very critical.
Sasa itakuwaje? Tuseme kuna mwanadada ako pale anatazama, anacheza raga na anajiuliza, je, ni muda upi anafaa kupata mtoto ama anafaa kupata ujauzito, na as in inachanganya
because it's confusing Rhoda, sababu now hii kuna career, kuna your passion attached,
ndio hiyo,
kuna relationship.
Kama makocha labda mko na mafunzo ya
one thing is the way you've said it's all comes with sensitization, as you said, coaches. And we have this is happening. And you know, I'm ready for, if I'm in a relationship, maybe I'm married, if I get a child, I'm ready to handle that. And we have heard of cases of many who go get kids and they're back again. So if the system is friendly enough to support them, to support this mother who is an athlete, see them as we can support, meaning even though I have a child doesn't mean I'm no longer an athlete. I'm still an athlete. So that means they need to strengthen that system. The coaches, how do you work when you need to talk to them and be sensitive to the matters concerning women, even the ladies who are getting pregnant. How sensitive are you when you're handling these matters? So it comes from coming up, going down to them. Because now, meaning, if I know the people around me are supporting me, I can be comfortable having an all-rounded system. I have a family, I can still thrive. And you have seen many thriving in families too. So it comes, how is the system?
And talking about the 360 degree family coaching unit, your peers, there is an issue about sexual violence. Hatuwezi kuachilia because kabla tutajie, because if there's one bigger challenge that even the pregnancy is sexual violence in sports.
Kabisa.
You know,
hasa wana dada sana.
You see, and both ways. Ebu tugusie, tell us a bit.
That's a sensitive area which you find hata mkiongea watu wananyamaza. They don't speak about it because as you've seen the athlete world, it's more of tumejua sport a lot through men. And then the women have come in the picture. So still it's a masculine world where you find women don't feel you have a voice much. And the ones who speak, you're at a chance of losing your career in sport. So you choose to keep quiet. So hizi vitu zimekuwa so normalized where you've said maybe it's a coach, maybe it's a team manager who is exploiting you, maybe it's sexual favors for you to get a spot. And because it has become so normalized and I'm feeling, he's the manager, he has the money, he has the power to let me go. Do I have a voice? So these things are there. But do these ladies know what are some of the repercussions if I speak up? Like if they don't speak up, most of them are dropping out of sports because it's so hostile. And they're traumatized. Self-esteem is affected. Mentally, performance is affected. That's why you have issues even with, sometimes when you go work with an athlete and you find you assess and you get even depression, anxiety. You assess for these things because there's a root cause. Because they are contributing factors to depression, anxiety. At the long run, the athlete is out of the sport. So they're there. And when I feel you don't have a voice, do the athletes know their rights? And do they know the right system to go by? And how they can address them? And most of the time you find, we have these policies there. How are they being implemented? We have them maybe for the men's. Do we have them for the female? Are they feeling unprotected? Naingia kwa hii sporty. Am I feeling protecting this system? And why are we keeping this coach who is continuously using? Na unajua vile wanakuja wanaileta, they put it in a way vile you're not feeling you're being exploited. No, but the thing is we have laws in Kenya which are they're protecting them. But the problem is they're feeling, I don't have a voice. So I think this program is giving them a voice of, I can actually speak up.
You can speak up. Lakini pia it's also both ways, Rhoda. Because on the one hand, there are girls, there are ladies out there who get exploited by the team manager, by the club owners, by the coaches. But equally, the power dynamics is so there are also girls who use the sexual favors as a way of getting the spot, the opportunities in the teams.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it's also the power dynamics is also both ways.
Yeah, it goes both ways and it affects the team.
You see,
Affects
because ule mtu amepatiwa hiyo opportunity ya kwenda kurepresent hiyo position may not be overly qualified or you know. So I don't, because these things also, because for the longest time the coaches have come under a lot of spotlight. But pia the flip side of that pia imekuwa there are girls, there are women who have also used their opportunity, their power dynamics to make the coaches vulnerable enough to include them in their hotel.
That's an interesting angle because it's there. The fact is it's there. Because I've seen there's a weakness. And most of the times when we come in and coming from a clinical angle, when you look at this and you find such scenarios, this is now the main concern is these athletes. What's the kind of personality and how is it affecting? So you bring out the aspect of it's affecting the performance of others. I feel as much as I perform, I can't do anything. I can't go anywhere because you have this happening. And the coach, if the coach is aware of what is happening, and the teammates, the teammate knows, the lady knows, you can't take me anywhere.
Do you?
Yes.
Exactly.
I know what I have and I know what I'm giving and I know what I'm getting. But the thing is, bring it forward to show it's not only affecting you only, it's affecting your teammates. It's affecting the performance of teammates. Then and then the fact is you're normalizing this is the kind of system which is there. So you make the ladies feel disinterest. They lose interest in the sport. You lose talent. And now even funding comes in. If this is what is happening, how can we support a culture like that? You're promoting a very toxic culture.
Na labda nikichangia tu kidogo, na naweza ona kwamba tatizo sana sana juu ya hili swala nzima msichana stigmatization nini linakujia pale mzazi anapomwachilia mwanadada wake kwa kocha.
Talk the coach.
Mzazi amekuja ana mtoto wake amemkabidhi kwa kocha wa klabu fulani ama Vihiga ama Thika Queens, na kuna trust ya mzazi na kocha. Kwa hiyo inakuwa ngumu sana kwa huyu mwanadada kusema dhuluma ambazo anafanywa na kocha nini na nini. Kwa hiyo inatatiza. Kwa hiyo tatizo pia linakuja kwa wazazi.
Inakuja kwa wazazi, inakuja
ama familia.
Have you empowered this player enough to know what is wrong and what is right? To know the actions I'm doing, they're not right. I can actually speak up. And because that sexual exploitation is there. But have you mentored your child? Na hata ukimwachilia the communication lines ziko aje? So yes, the role of the parents as you're bringing, and hata ukimwachilia what role are you playing when this player is inside here? Knowing this is a vulnerable person, this is a person yule ako kwa e-sport and is there to impress. I need a coach to see me. And such a vulnerable state and someone who is actually not caring about the well-being athlete will take advantage of that vulnerability. So the role of parents, are you monitoring what is happening? And what are the communication lines? Like it's a whole system which for it to work needs to be looked at all corners. That's all.
Kwa hiyo ujumbe kwa wazazi.
So hapo kuna pia ujumbe. Hapo sasa tumeingisha another good aspect. There is the athlete, there is the coach, na sasa kuna the parent.
Kabisa.
It's the parent also. Na I think Rhoda atatuambia penye tutampata where you can get her and her contact, because the parents usually entrust the coach and say I've left the coach and they're waiting for results. No, mzazi, that's the mzazi.
Ndio hiyo.
Kazi yangu ni maombi na shukran na Rhoda, take care of yourself. Anamwachilia. I think that's what I've gotten from you.
Yes. Umemwachilia, but now how do you make sure even monitor know, am I doing the right thing? Who can I consult to help me? Know how to help.
Na hata mazungumzo huwa ni kati ya kocha na parent. Kocha anasema parent anauliza coach, mtoto wangu yuko vipi? Kocha anasema anaendelea hivi na hivi, yuko sawa. Ndio tatizo.
So I think kwa heshima we need to call Rhoda Kithure again here, because kwa kweli there is a bit more that we need to talk about, especially hapo pa parenting. And especially to the growing girls, to talent developments, na penya amesema the uncertainties and what makes the talent iende inakatika ama they lose interest pale mbele. For the interest of time, Akadeli,
atuambie anaweza patikana wapi, watakupata wapi?
Watakupata wapi? Kwa simu. Oh, how can they get you?
TikTok.
No, bado
Instagram.
At Facebook, even Twitter, you get me at Rhoda Kidhure, Facebook at Rhoda Kidhure, and also online at Facebook, you'll get me at Rhoda Kidhure, LinkedIn, Rhoda Kidhure, Rhoda Kidhure, and also I operate from Kiambu, Kiambu town, and also online, I do online counseling, so I'll give my contacts and even my email. You can contact me anyhow if you really want to have a chat with me, and feel free to reach out, because these are conversation we need to have on a continuous basis.
Wow.
Kwa hiyo Kiari, la ziada tukiondoka?
Mimi la ziada, mimi leo nimejifunza 2, 3, 4. Greatest take home ni getting the parent as part of the conversation for mental health. Number 2, having a strong support structure. Number 3, policies and strong policies that work. Not just policies, but are work and are followed. I think for me, those are the 3 big take home. Now, of course, kumshukuru dada yetu tena for taking time and honoring us to be here. Yes.
Kwa hiyo mtazamaji wangu, sina lingine la ziada. Tumekuwa kibarazani, tumekuwa jamvini, tumezungumza, tukasema, na natumai tumekuelimisha. Na wewe mzazi ambaye uko pale, ni jukumu lako kuangalia ama kuangazia swala nzima la kumweka mwanao hapa kwa hapa na kujua anaendelea vipi katika sekta za spoti ambazo anajihusisha nazo. Kwa hiyo nitakushukuru Rhoda kwa ujio wako, na labda tutapatana tena mahali pengine, ama tutakuita hapa tena tuendelee na mazungumzo yetu, lakini kwanza nimekushukuru. Kwa hiyo sisi tunaondoka, hatuna lingine la ziada. Tupatane tena weekend ijayo, lakini kwa sasa kuna Sport Sugu Extra, tutazungumza kuhusiana na EPL.
Hapo tabasamu kweli.